focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Yo, welcome to another, and honestly, it sucks because it's the last game of the Raider season that we gotta recap, man. It sucks, but we here, and we ended it off on the win. But before we get into that, man, welcome to another edition of the 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. You already know, I'm one of your hosts, SC Raiders Talk, you feel me? Or also known as SC or Eric, whatever you want to say. And I got my boy to me again. I did it right again. Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, y'all know what's good. What's good? 2 for 1 Nation podcast. Two brothers for one nation. And we know there's only one nation. And that's the Raider Nation. You dig?
Yup. Hey,
man. To everybody.
Shout out to everybody, man. Of course. You feel me? We ended it off on a win. The season finale. We ended off on a win. It feels good to win. Just win at the end, man, because it's all about just win, baby. But it's on to a good momentum swing entering next season. Obviously, we're in the offseason. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of interviews going on with the Raiders, requesting to interview certain people. Some coaches stepping down in the NFL. Some notable names: Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, and Pete Carroll. So many things happening. End of eras, end of legacies. But before we get to that, man, let me give a shout out to who's here so far, man. Shout out to Robert Pena in the building. What's good? Anthony Estrada, salute. Richard Lyons, salute. Good to see everybody in here, man. Auntie Six Soldier, good to see everybody, man. Vic Sacramento, salute. Wild Turkey, what's good? Good to see you. Jaw Raider in the building, what's good? And what up, Alberto Soto? What up, players for Niners gang? Drop it in, man. The notable Niner fan in the building. What's good, Alberto? But let's get straight into it, man. There's a lot of things to talk about, man. A lot of speculations. New names in the mix of the Raiders head coach. But let's recap last game, obviously. We beat the Broncos. A good feeling again. We beat them. How you felt about that game, Twuan? What did you like about that game?
You know, I felt real good about it. You know, we know what time this team was on. We know what intensity the players were about. And, you know, they were fighting for, you know, and we'll talk about it because, you know, they politicking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, doing the because they politicking for their coach and you know, putting more W's in his column, you know, kind of adds to his resume. You know, and AP said it. You know, he said my experience and my you know, my resume is on the field, and that's exactly what, you know, these players tried to do. And also we talked about it last week, and, you know, it was something you brought up, and it was very key because there was a lot of things within the nation, you know, just us, you know, reading and feeling the nation. People were talking about, oh, we should lose, or we should, you know, to keep our draft stock and all of that stuff. And we determined, look, just win, baby. You know what I'm saying? And also, like I said, and I still say this, and I'm glad that we got the win for this reason. the Broncos, no matter whatever they smoking up there in Colorado, you know what I'm saying? Whatever drugs they doing up there in Colorado, one thing they can say is that they don't own us at all. We own them. And despite us having playoff implications or not having playoff implications, or like I said, on their best day and our worst day, it ain't gonna happen. So I was glad that we were able to win.
Facts, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's just joining us again. SoCal Sal in the building. What's good? Good to see you, man. Alfredo, salute. Good to see everybody, man. All eyes on G in the building. What's good, all eyes? Good to see you. Good to see everybody, man. Anthony Estrada in the building. Yeah, man. A lot of legacy coaches stepping down. Last 24 hours, Nick Saban. Nick Saban did retire. If y'all know anything about college football, that's like the Bill Belichick of college football recently. Alabama was a strong force the past couple of years. And, of course, you could already tell that Nick Saban was on the decline after this season, man. So he retires. Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll's still in Seattle. It's just he's stepping down from head coaching. Then Bill Belichick obviously is finding a new home, and Mike Vrabel from Tennessee, that believe it or not is another good, valuable head coach. Shout out to Louis Swanter. What's good, man? Good to see you. Shout out to everybody, man. And for me, obviously, there's a lot of things to look at this Raiders and Broncos. For one, hey, Antonio Pierce is 3-1 against AFC West opponents, y'all. Y'all understand that, right? He's 3-1 against AFC West opponents. He lost to the Chiefs, beat the Chiefs. He beat the Chargers, and he beat the Broncos. So he's 3-1, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's 3-1.
No, wait. Wasn't the first one McDaniels?
Was that McDaniels? Am I tripping, y'all?
I think so. I think the first Chiefs game was McDaniels. So we swept the West.
Oh wow!
Under.
And he also set a franchise record against the Chargers.
Yeah, we swept the West under AP.
Well, I was wrong with my stuff. That even makes it better, huh? That even makes it better that they like that.
What week was the first? Because we drawing blanks. We all the way at week 18. What week was?
I think it was right before
first Chargers game. I mean, first Chiefs game.
I think it was right before. Oh, okay, so I was right. Yeah. AP had them and the Chiefs because we played the Chiefs right before the bye week, and bye week was in week 13. We fired Josh McDaniels when it was which game was it? Oh, I forgot what game it was, but it was early in the season. So yeah, no, the first game with the Chiefs was with AP. The first game with the Broncos with MC. First KC was Josh, and second AP. Oh my God, we got mixed signals here. We have to probably. Hey, either way, he's positive against the AFC West. He's positive against the AFC West. He got fired against the Lions, so I was right. Okay. We good. AP is 3-1. Regardless, that's a good record than any other coach against the AFC West opponent. And he did it with the rookie quarterback, a rookie offensive coordinator, rookie tight end, rookie. I could keep going down the line. Rookie. So he obviously you got to give him some kudos, but of course on the other side you have Jim Harbaugh. But before we get into that coaching stuff, obviously the Broncos game was a really good game for us against Zamir White, 100+ yard game. That's interesting to see. That is really interesting to see that Zamir White is starting to come into his own towards the end of the season. I think 3 out of the 4 games he had 100+ yards. He had multiple touchdowns. The guy's playing pretty good. He's putting some pressure on Josh Jacobs, but for me, obviously, I would keep Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is going to weigh his options, obviously. I don't think a franchise tag is in play for him. I doubt, especially if a new coach comes in that wants his own players. It depends who the coach is, obviously. It could be Jim Harbaugh, it could be Antonio Pierce, or it could be somebody else now in the mix. Of course, they're weighing their options on that case. He says AOC was starting against the Chiefs in Vegas, 19.5 average, and the penalties were way down under AP. That's a fact. Question: who do you guys want as your head coach? You staying in house or looking at the field? We'll talk about it right now. You feel me? Ed Dobbs getting interviewed tomorrow. Mark Davis wants him. And Ed Dobbs' friendship with Harbaugh got to have eyes tomorrow, people. Hey, I like Ed Dobbs, man. Whether it's Champ Kelly, I think Champ Kelly deserves it, but like I said, Ed Dobbs obviously. But as far as the Broncos game, Aiden O'Connell had a decent game, 2 touchdowns, over 200 yards and 20 for 31 around there. Pretty good game there for him. Obviously, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo come out there and throw a horrible ass fucking pass, his first throw, and that shows you a lot from Jimmy Garoppolo. That shows you his kind of type of season. Zamirwa obviously 25 carries, 112 yards. You had Trey Tucker at 79 yards, Jacoby Myers at 61, and Devontae has at 46 in the touchdown.
I'm sorry, but that's too funny.
And then obviously,
Oh,
obviously things happen. He said breaking news: Brasillo hired by the Giants. Did he get hired? I think they were gonna interview him. I don't know if they hired him.
who?
Did they hire him? Our offensive line coach. Oh, well, they did. You are 100% right.
Bye, Felicia.
Raiders lose their offensive line coach Carmen Brasillo to the Giants. Thank you for that, all eyes.
Bye, Felicia.
There you go. Breaking news, y'all. One of our staff is out.
Bye, Felicia.
They signed him. So
two out of 5 ain't working it for me.
I will say I'm kind of sad.
Really?
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying. And the reason why I say 2 out of 5, even though it probably could be a little more than that, but like really look at it. What two linemen? How many linemen do we really want to keep that we currently have on this roster? 2.5. You know what I'm saying? Colt Miller, Parham, and maybe Thayer. Everybody else can go.
Hey, I ain't mad, bro.
So,
I will say in this first season with the Raiders, he did do decent. I think he opened it up a lot for Josh Jacobs last year. I think he did a pretty good job. And then you just seen the decline. Like, what the fuck? Like, Andre James was a good center before it, and then became just.
That's why it didn't make sense to me. And everybody's been talking about the offensive line. I don't think anybody that does Raider content has not spoken about this offensive line. So obviously there was an elephant in the room. And like I said it from last year to this year on what you're saying is we seen that this offensive line was somewhat okay starting out with Carmen Brasillo, but then where did they just all of a sudden fall from that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think, okay, in most situations, either they're going to stay the same or they'll get a little better. Not freaking totally drop the freaking bottom half of their, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we saw. So good luck to you. Happy trails. I was hoping, and I said, and I was thinking this, that even with my hopes of having AP here, with us getting a new offensive coordinator, I was hoping that we was going to get a new offensive line coach because he wasn't cracking it for me.
Facts, man. And shout out to everybody that's joining us, man. Faith, what's good? What's good? Good to see everybody. Jalen Harris in the building. Desert Raider, what's good, Desert Raider? And he already got Jim Harp on the Raider logo. That's actually a pretty good profile picture. I actually like that. It looks cool. I ain't gonna lie. I like I sweated. That actually looks cool. Shout out to Alfredo, Desert Raider in the building, man. Everybody in here. Honestly, SC, I know we're gonna draft one. I'm honestly chilling on the college quarterback. The quarterback I was high on obviously can't handle the pressure and noise. Watch that game with SC No Penix. We'll talk about that national championship because I actually did the game, and it was an interesting game that happened. And Davis wanted Ed Dobbs 2022, so now he has Ed Dobbs in his hands tomorrow. He ain't letting him walk him for sure. Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. Just know if something happens with Ed Dobbs, I'll make a YouTube short, break it down what he's done. Boom, little 60-second little quick thing you guys could watch and stuff like that. If he gets like most likely the job, obviously, right? If Jim was coming to the Raiders, then why was PG blocked from the Chargers? I think they're gonna sign AP, and we'll talk about it right now. I'm glad y'all are bringing all that. And actually, we could go straight into it because honestly, hey, that Broncos game, we beat them. Hey, I'm glad we own them. Fuck them. And Antonio Pierce, regardless, is either I think is 3-1 against AFC West opponents, which is pretty damn good. And everybody had a good game to be honest. And Malcolm Kuntz again doing his thing right. Shout out to Sam Tanka. Of course, the main question here Oh, well, let's first go with the NFL coaching GM news around the league, right? Bill Belichick out of the Patriots, finding a home. He's still coaching, it looks like. So where he's going to go, my prediction, Tennessee. It's my prediction. Tennessee. Or Atlanta Falcons. Mike Vrabel from Tennessee bounces off Tennessee. Another good candidate for Tennessee Titans. I mean, not to Tennessee Titans. I'm dumb. To Atlanta Falcons. Then obviously you also have other notable names like Pete Carroll, which he wants to continue being in Seattle. So that it could be a talking point, obviously. A really proven coach, in my opinion, made Russell Wilson. I don't care what anybody says, it improved it with this Broncos team.
I hate to say it about Pete Carroll, but
are you gonna say there's a possibility?
I hate it. I hate to say it, but him with the Chargers might be scary.
But isn't he staying with Seattle though?
Him staying on the west side, and he's a USC. Like that. Like we talk about the Chargers not getting people in the stadium. That might put some butts in some seats. Just having Pete Carroll run and they'll actually be coached. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Something we've been the thing about the Chargers we've been known for a good couple of years is they can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
And their coaching sucks. Now you have a situation where they might still not be healthy, but if Pete Carroll goes in there, you know they got a good coach. So that if he moves, I think the perfect match, even though I hate saying it as a Raider fan, would be the Chargers.
Hey, all lies. I know why you're saying that. You're a Fresno State fan. You hate USC. But best believe Pete Carroll, I think, is the only one to win a Super Bowl and win a national championship. I just got to say, hey, I just got to throw it out there real quick. Flex a little bit, you feel me? That Pete Carroll, he's the real deal. Lane Kiffin was trash. Was USC trash. Lane Kiffin was USC trash. Pete Carroll is the real deal. But for me, obviously, I would think he stays in Seattle. I heard he's going to stay in Seattle, obviously.
Lane Kiffin was Raider trash, too.
Yeah, he was. And if there was a place he would go, obviously it would be LA, right? Obviously, the Chargers are the only destination. But obviously you got Mike Vrabel, which, hey, say what you say about Tennessee, man, is still a decent head coach, which I wouldn't doubt it if Atlanta looks at him and a couple things. It's just like somebody said in the chat. Let me see where he said right here. Alfredo said the NFL is going to be so different next season. And it kind of was already different this season, right? You're starting to see young quarterbacks emerge, right? The likes of CJ Stroud, obviously. CJ Stroud right now having a heck of a season. Tua Tagovailoa having a pretty decent season after all the 2 concussions he had last season. Everybody thought he was going to go to dirt. Instead, played a pretty good thing. All these new quarterbacks emerging and the old quarterbacks bouncing. Tom Brady gone. Aaron Rodgers, it looks like the age is kind of catching up to him, getting pretty injured pretty easily. He's coming back again, but he might be on the way out, right? Obviously it's the end of multiple quarterback eras, man, you know? And you're starting to see it with coaching now, right? Bill Belichick, right? Obviously it's one Pete Carroll. And you know, who knows who else is gonna step down or who's gonna leave off of the league. It's time for the new generation of coaches and quarterbacks and players just to emerge and be the new life of the NFL, right? The new era of the NFL, and it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I know we're talking NFL, but I I also wanted to talk. Well, you said his name earlier, you know what I'm saying, but I felt it was interesting that Saban retired, the same time that Belichick got fired. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like as soon as the feeder school as soon as the feeder school retired, he was like, man, I might as well go ahead and roll with this retirement, because we know that Alabama is definitely a feeder was a feeder and has been a feeder to the Patriot organization. So we'll see if that still holds true. But we know that those two guys, Saban and Belichick, were, tight.
Mm. I'm gonna start your comment, Jalen. I'll get to that right now. I just want to, I want to say something before it gets out of my mind real quick. And shout out to Gord Peterson. What's good, Gord Peterson? Good to see you. As far as the college scene goes, I don't know if you guys watched the national championship between Michigan and Washington. Something I didn't expect. I expected a better performance from Michael Penix Jr. When I really looked at that game and that Washington Michigan game, obviously Jim Harbaugh came out with a great game plan, man. Run the rock until they can't stop it, and keep and when you want to catch the defense off guard, you let your quarterback use his legs. There was a play where it was a third down. It would have been a third and out, but instead JJ McCarthy ran for like a 12-plus yard run for the first down, and that caught and he did back-to-back runs in that drive, and that caught Washington off guard. That's all the play style of Jim Harbaugh, kind of catching everybody off guard and kind of coming out with a game plan that is like, hey, if we see a weakness, we're gonna continue with the weakness, and we go continue, and continue. And that's exactly what he did. A good performance from Michigan, one of the best teams in Michigan history, one of the best teams in general in college football this year. You could say the best team of all college football. They were the number one seed, for example. They had really good, notable guys on both sides of the table. Offense, defense was looking pretty good. That defense really gave Washington a run for their offense. Washington's offense is a pretty good offense. So what Michigan did was very impressive on the defensive side of the ball. Michael Penix Jr., say what you say about him. He played his heart out that game. He had broken ribs and still was trying to perform on a drive, and he still was making accurate throws. And the receivers were just not helping him, man. Drop after drop after drop. And every time he threw the ball, he grabbed his ribs because it hurt him. And he was still making accurate throws. That shows you, you know, those are obviously injury concerns, and that's gonna drop him from the first round. Obviously, in my opinion, if I were to predict, that would drop him from the first round. But the guy wants to play football, man. The fact that he still went out there knowing that the national championship was already in Michigan's hand, and still going out there and saying, "Hey, I want to play these drives regardless of how hurt I am." Hey, that's the type of quarterback that I want in the locker room. And I'm not saying go out there and use your first round pick on him, but obviously he's gonna drop from the first round. But he played a heck of a game, and you got to give it to Jim Harbaugh. He finally won a big game, right? He finally won a big game. The whole narrative that I was giving, that he lost in the Super Bowl, lost in the playoffs in the college football scene. He never won a big game. Now he won a big game, so that's good for him. But he hasn't done it at the NFL level, so that's still a question to be heard. Can he do it? Obviously, but we got to see what happened, right? Penix could not set his feet. He was scrambling for his life, man. Hey, man, that Washington online looked like they had Illuminor playing for them. They looked like they had Andre James, Illuminor, and the whole right side of the Raiders offensive line out there, bro. The way he was running for his life. Y'all seen Honda report yesterday that Mark Davis has Jim Harbaugh as the number one to get interviewed and not AP. I believe it. Obviously, man. When it comes down to it, you gotta weigh your options. Regardless if somebody's number one option or not, they're gonna talk to him, be like, "Hey, what is your intentions? What is your intentions with the team? What do you want to do with the team when you get here? How do you feel about coming to the professional level? What is your asking price for the contract?" They're going to talk about all those questions. And it all depends on Jim Harbaugh's thing. Jim Harbaugh could easily say, "Hey, I want to get paid. I want a 10-year contract." And Mark Davis could say, "Fuck you. I don't want to do another 10-year I don't want to do another 10-year contract." So, it just depends how that meeting goes. And shout out to Lewis. Shout out to Joshua Young, man. Shout out to you, man. Hope all as well. What if Jim Harbaugh goes to Seahawks? Hey, it is what it is, right? But obviously, those are some of the coaching news. I just wanted to get that out of the mind. But let's talk about the. I mean, I should have switched this right here. But obviously, hey SC, do you have any OC that you would recommend? I want the team to hire. One I've been looking at is the Lions offensive coordinator. I think it's oh my god, what's his name, bro?
Ben Johnson.
Yeah. I've been looking at him. That's been really the only offensive coordinator I've been looking at. To be honest, I need to do my research recently. It's just I'm waiting for everybody to fire their head coaches and fire their staff in order for me to know who's really truly available. Because for me, obviously I could talk about a lot of people that could be the offensive coordinator. but they could still stay with their significant team. We don't know. So for me, I'm the type of dude to first let all the coordinators and all the coaches get fired or get let go from the team before I start talking about them. Because then I truly know, okay, this guy's available, this guy's more of a possibility, this guy's not. Same thing with quarterback prospects. Caleb Williams still hasn't gone into the draft. That would change everything I have to do at the draft. So that's why I'm like, I'm talking about it when you ask questions, but I'm not fully making a video on it just yet. I'm just waiting on that. But yeah, obviously that's one of the names.
It's kind of tough to indicate an OC, especially when there's a whole bunch of levels that we haven't even checked off yet. That in structure wise, you have to go with the GM, and we don't have a GM officially at this point. And based on whoever our GM is, that's who we can kind of get a closer indication on who our head coach is possibly going to be. From there, that's where we'll be able to kind of get even a closer eye on who our OC is going to be. Now, in my wishing, right? Because again, this is just my wish. If Champ Kelly goes in, we know Champ Kelly's probably going to most likely roll with AP as head coach. Yeah. Now, with an offensive coordinator, I am actually looking at some names that we haven't even looked at, because I just think that there's a lot of coaches that are like, hey, AP, wherever you go, I'm gonna roll with you, and hopefully it's with the Raiders. And I think we'll see a lot of proven people come into the office if AP becomes the head coach. It's not going to be some, just some Joe Blows. I think he's going to bring some seasoned guys with him. So it's still kind of a wait and see, until we officially get a GM in, because that's, and for me, I've kind of been getting the indication that if they go with Champ Kelly, most likely it's going to be AP. Now, if they go with, people have been saying Dobbs, he has more of a connection with Harbaugh.
So, shout out to Cord Peterson. I hope Andy Reid is next to retire. He might be, man. Y'all seen the Honda? Oh, I already read that. Shout out to Joshua Young. Shout out to everybody, man. I heard, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Washington fired their coach too. I think Rivera's gone, yes. Rivera's gone, so that's another team that needs one. And they got a good young squad over there. Say what you say about Washington. They got a good young squad, man. If they put a really significant quarterback, they're looking good, man. They got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, a good offensive defense that, they traded away some pieces, but they got a lot back, right? Honestly, I'm worried on where Graham goes. We finally have a defensive scheme that is on the rise. Guys like Merrick finally balled out. The entire secondary started gelling under Graham. And it also gelled, say what you say about Antonio Pierce, right? And this leads me to the next one, obviously. Speaking of NFL coaching, as far as the Raiders go, right? You can't go. I'm going to say this, right? Last week, I was more on the Antonio Pierce train. I still am. Antonio Pierce, for me, is my number one option. But right behind him is Jim Harbaugh. And like I said, both of these guys deserve it. For me, Antonio Pierce is somebody that has the locker room together. The players play for him. You give him a good coordinator, he's looking good. He keeps the same defensive coordinator, gets his own position coaches, because remember, Carmen Bracilla was under Josh McDaniels through the Patriots, so now he's gone. Boba might be on the way out again, or he might keep him as a quarterback coach or something, and then he would get a truly offensive coordinator, obviously. Antonio Pierce has a lot of ties too, believe it or not. But as far as it goes, he's a guy that is 3-1 against the AFC West, obviously. Has a positive record taking over, and had a obviously you have a rookie quarterback, a rookie offensive coordinator. I don't know why people were expecting us to go undefeated with Antonio Pierce. Like, it wasn't gonna happen. And like, the reality of it, there was a lot of rookies on this team, and a lot of unproven guys as well. So for me, obviously, Antonio Pierce is still number one for me. Even the fans want him. He's a guy that knows what it be to be a Raider fan, to be a Raider. He knows that. Now, Jim Harbaugh on the other side, obviously, used to be, I believe, with Al Davis, obviously. He kind of has a little similarity to the Raiders. He knows what it's about as well. He also is proven at a high level as far as winning an NFC championship, winning at a high level. He hasn't won the big game yet, but he has proven he has a positive record. So he's a proven head coach. So for me, I'm keeping the same energy I did before Josh McDaniels, and I'm gonna keep it today because I don't switch up at the end of the day. For me, obviously, it's hey, I want a proven guy, a guy that could come in here and either continue the culture that we always build on, just win, baby, commitment to excellence, and knowing what it is to be a Raider, and a proven head coach. And both of these guys mark both of the boxes. On one, you got a guy that, hey, you already shown that he could bring the locker room together, motivate everybody, and get everybody together. On the other side, you got a proven head coach. So I'm cool with either or. I don't know about you guys. I'm cool with either or. Hey, I'm whatever makes us win, I'm cool, and I think both of these guys could win. Me personally, I would pick Antonio Pierce, but hey, everybody got their opinions, obviously, and I wouldn't be mad at either or. I just hope the one thing I am worried about, and it's a PTSD, guys, it's horrible PTSD, is if Jim Harbaugh comes in and either rebuilds, kicks out people to get his people in, or it's another strict day where he hey, it's Jim Harbaugh's way or no way. That's what I'm scared of. That's the only thing I'm scared of. That's what's keeping me away from Jim Harbaugh. What you thinking?
I'm with you on the AP boat. I that's my number one choice. But to be honest with you, and I also feel you on your last statement. Well, actually, I agree with everything you're saying. AP is my number one guy. Am I mad if we get Harbaugh? No, but whoever they bring in, the guys that are actually getting released, I'm fine with them. If Vrabel comes over here, I'm cool with that because I know Vrabel can coach. You know what I'm saying? Pete Carroll with his old self, I know he can coach. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think we got an issue with if the coach can coach. My biggest issue, like you said, is and that's why I was more on the AP boat because I know that AP is going to retool. He's not going to rebuild, and I do not want to rebuild because I can see this roster. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're only a few pieces. We're not that far away from actually having a really good roster with what we already have on our team. So, and I hope whoever comes in as head coach recognizes that hey, this team is, you know what I'm saying, a good, I'll just throw a random percentage out there. This team is about a good 85% or 75% ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I just need to fix a few things here. You know what I'm saying? Keep some of these guys, but hey, y'all the backups. Y'all ain't the starter. Y'all the backups now. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things like that. And if they do that, we'll be good. And I think with AP and like I said with Champ Kelly, they're in the room. They know what who stinks and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? They've been around it enough to realize personnel. They don't have to take, up to week 4 to figure out, our right tackle ain't really our right tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like they already know what ain't cracking and what ain't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say that even with bringing them in that everything's going to be off and running, but at least they'll have a closer figurative of where we need to be. So I'm with you, but I for those reasons.
I just want to catch up to the chat real quick. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in here, man. The chat popping, man. You already know, man. A lot of talking points. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're simulcasting, so if you don't see certain people's comments, it's because they're probably on the other channel. We're on Raider Twuan and the SC Raiders Talk. So hey, don't think anybody's ignoring y'all from the other side or something. It's just there's two different chats going on, and we could see everything, man. So we appreciate you, and we're gonna get to all you guys' comments right now. Is Marvin Lewis an offensive coach or defensive? Defensive. Yep, and there you go, John Raider. Milka Beasy was good, and All Eyes has the exact number 7 head coach vacancies this year so far. So a lot of moving parts there. Carmen Brasilla was hired by the Giants. Yep, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't care. You feel me? Like, hey, he could go. He's not a big loss. He's not like one of those. I'm like, damn, wow. Like I'm just like, hey, okay.
And,
Hey,
and like I said earlier, we're going to lose our offense coordinator. We're hoping to get a new offensive coordinator anyway. So with the new offensive coordinator, he's going to bring in an offensive lineman, offensive line coach. So bye. And oh, to because someone said, and I wanted to answer that comment.
Yeah.
The comment in regards to Patrick Graham getting blocked for the Chargers. The reason why they're able to do that is because it was a lateral movement. They were trying to hire Patrick Graham for a defensive coordinator job, and technically the Raiders can block that. Now, if they brought him in for a head coaching job, they can't block him from that. But from a promotion, but if it's a lateral movement, they can block that, which also gives hope to what we're kind of talking about in regards to AP, because we know that AP is most likely going to want to keep Patrick Graham. So blocking him also kind of is like, hey, AP's still an option here.
Yeah.
And Patrick Graham is definitely, he can still be here.
Shout out to Egalitarian and the Benny Kevin Lurker, Raider Ben. What's good, Raider Ben? Good to see you, man. Good to see all of you guys, man. Hope all is well with all you guys, man. Sorry if I came to your comments late. Like I said, the chat's popping, and we just gotta get our points out. Shout out to T209. What's good, 209? Good to see you, man. Shout out to Lewis, Raiders, Chargers, Falcons, Commanders, Panthers, Patriots, Seahawks need head coach. There you go, man. I have to give the nod to Harbaugh. His work with quarterbacks is unpredicted at the NFL level. He is really good with quarterbacks. That is another thing I forgot to mention. He's really good at that. Shout out to Anthony Shada, man. Good to see everybody, man. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. Bless you, see you guys and your families, man. Also, on behalf of our channels, man. Hey, you already know, man. Help us out. We're trying to reach goals, for Twuan. Obviously, get him monetized, man. I think it's 500 subscribers now, so he's close to it. For me, obviously, I'm less than 20 away from 2,000 subscribers.
Let's
So
go. Let's do that. Let's do that today. Quit playing with yourself.
So there's
go ahead and subscribe.
There's 3 weeks until the Super Bowl. I said by the end of the season, of the NFL season, I want to hit 2,000 subscribers. So we got 3 weeks to hit that. Hopefully we do. Obviously, man, I'll appreciate you guys' support no matter what, man. Hey, just by spreading the word, hey, go subscribe. Hey, it's up to the people if they want to subscribe. They come over here, like the content, they'll subscribe. If they don't, they don't. Just all I ask is, hey, share it out. Let them know. You feel me? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to tell their friend to tell their friend and their friend and their friends and their friends. You feel me? Shout out to everybody.
It's free to do.
Yeah,
it's free, y'all. You ain't got to pay for it.
Shout out to the Raider Critique in the video. What's good? Critique Space Beast. What's good, man? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody, man. Sam Tanka. Good to see you. I hope AP is the head coach, but the OC he picks has to be solid, like a Brian Gaze from San Fran or Tim Kelly from the Titans, for example, man. There you go. Shout out to JT up for a review in the building. Milka Beezy was good, man. Good to see everybody, man. Hope all is well. While Turkey was good, hit that like button. You already know, man. Hit that like button. We'll really appreciate it. Honestly, we need to bring a whole new offensive staff. That many weapons to be able to move the ball, not very well. We need offensive coaching. And Raider Critique has started today already. Carmen Brasillo is signing with the Giants, so he's gone. Our offensive line coach is out the window. So one step in the offensive staff to get out right. I like AP and the fact that I'm comparing him to Harbaugh to represent of how much I like AP, man. I feel that, man. I'm just showing up like a subscribe to two Brown Crackers podcast at SC Raiders Talk, man. It was good, man. Good to see you, JT. Shout out to everybody. Musgrave was Del Rio's favorite scapegoat. Fired him twice. Shout out to everybody, man. Is the GM a real concern in your opinion? Seems that Mark is trying to get that locked before head coach. Regardless of it, Lewis, Champ Kelly, Ed Dobbs, both good candidates, bro. Not be mad with either or. Good with scouting. Both of them are good with scouting. Both of them are good as general managers. So regardless of any of them, they're both good general managers, man. But for me, obviously, I think you bring Champ Kelly again, man, in my opinion. But that's only, I think, if you get to Antonio Pierce, obviously. Raiders allowed 16 points per game during AP's tenure. Number one in the NFL, not a coincidence. They were a 25th prior. And I see some people kind of disregarding AP's ability. Guys, before AP, the defense was good, but it wasn't that good until AP took over. Once AP took over, he was one of the best defenses in the NFL. Went from one of the good defenses to one of the best defenses. And that shows you how much of a AP helped it out. Him just saying, hey, Patrick Graham, do your thing. Hey, I think you should do this, that. Hey, it's up to you. is what a coach is supposed to do. Boost that coordinator up, say, hey, this is not working. Hey, you're doing a good job, blah, blah, blah. That gives the coordinators both. And look at what happened. Look at what happened. At the end of the day, people forget that Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded, at the end of the day, is a defensive-minded guy. And that's why the offense wasn't all that, because we had a rookie offensive coordinator. So for us to have a defensive-minded coach, he was, of course, not going to help too much of the offensive coordinator. So I don't know why people are disregarding, oh, AP didn't do a good job. He did the same thing Josh McDaniels. Guys, Josh McDaniels was an offensive guru, and he still couldn't get this offense flowing. Antonio Pierce is a defensive guru, and he got the defense flowing. Like I'm just
and was getting paid a whole lot more.
Facts. A shout out to my 2 cents, man. Good to see you. I just hope Mark understands not to give a head coach full control, and that's exactly what I'm saying. If you tell me, hey, Jim Harbaugh's your head coach, and he's not gonna have a dictatorship, go ahead, bro. You're a Raider. Go ahead. Put that cap on. Put that headset on. Go out there and represent the silver and black. That's what I would say. But if you gonna give him full power, fuck no. 100%. I ain't doing that no more with head coaches, bro. I can't do that. We did that with John Gruden, which, hey, at the end of the day, John Gruden was doing a good job slowly, but still, I don't give a fuck. And then you got Josh McDaniels that just came in here and was like, do it this way. Do it this way. Don't audible there. What are you doing? I don't like you. I'm not playing you. Fuck you. That's what he was doing, and that's why the team hated him. It's a reason. AP made it fun again. Made it about. Hey, I'm gonna finish it for you. Made it about being a Raider. I'm gonna finish it for you right there. Mid of the season, Mark Davis finally turned on the brain, and the first time in take over the ownership. Hopefully, you still have it. I know, right? It took him till half the season to realize that, man. He pulled this. If you guys remember this, and I'm only gonna play 10 seconds of it.
Sometimes things just don't work out. It was after a short period of time that I realized I didn't hire the person I thought I was hiring.
Big facts.
Like father, like son, huh?
Big facts.
And remember, you know what's so funny? I know you remember talking, because we were talking about like, oh, Josh McDaniels shouldn't be here, and it was like a week before where I started playing that clip, and then the next week he just fired him. Bro. I said it was gonna happen. People called me dumb. They say he's gonna wait till the end of the season. I'm like, hey, I would not doubt it if he does what his dad did, bro. With the
I was like, Mark Davis need to pull out the projector. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the excellence of the Raiders.
Fact. Shout out to Willie Wayne, man. Gord Peterson. Good to see you guys, man. Hope all is well. So obviously there's a lot of things to do with the Raiders, man. It's gonna be an interesting offseason. I think it's more exciting than any offseason we had recently, bro. And I 100% know that, because not only will you possibly will get a new head coach, a new general manager, or the same thing, but you also have a lot of key positions that you would practically for the future. You know, the difference between last year and this year is that obviously, actually 2 years ago, Josh McDaniels hiring was something that nobody really knew what it was about, right? We were like, oh, we're clueless on how Josh McDaniels is going to be. Offensive guru, maybe he'll make the offense flowing. He brought in Patrick Graham, a decent coordinator. We're going to see how it goes, see how if it does good. Then after the first year, you kind of seen that it was kind of bad and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't exciting. And then, you know, obviously they got rid of Derek Carr, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's the best thing in the world. Then Jimmy Garoppolo came in and was like, oh, fuck, what the fuck did we do? And then now it's more exciting, because not only will you get a new quarterback that possibly could be the future of the Raiders and actually be your franchise quarterback, have the biggest potential to be it, but also you have a new head coach that is proven, whether it's either or, and also a maybe possibly general manager that knows what they're doing. So maybe finally, man, and I'm hoping, I'm begging, I'm manifesting, I'm praying every day that hopefully, we finally have a draft that we could go into it and be like, it's not a reach. That's it. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all I ask on it. So that's what is gonna make it exciting. A lot of things to be talked about, obviously. So
there's and I'm with you. I just hope that we get, you know, structure. You know, GM actually does GM. The head coach actually is a head coach.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a coordinator and a head coach, but a head coach. And then, let everybody else do their job. Let the defensive coordinator do his job. Let the offensive coordinator do his job, and let's run it.
Yeah.
Let's run it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I think this team is pretty much there. We're starting to see the rise of our rookies. You know what I'm saying? We didn't expect, and I'm gonna say it early, but we didn't. Hey, Tucker might be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he can get his hands together, because we know that, I had an issue with that a couple of weeks ago with Tucker. But if he gets his hands together, and we actually get somebody that can sling it all around the field, it might really be a problem. Because we're seeing, like I said, we're starting to see little glimpses of our rookies taking that step, and I just can't wait to see them, next year. You know what I'm saying? And have them have a whole off season where, hey, this is what we need you to work on, and come back, come back with these tools in your tool belt, and Tyree gain a couple of more pounds, and work with Max. You know what I'm saying? And whoever, work with the pass rusher summit or whoever during the off season to get some more tools on your tool belt, and let's run it. So we're in a good place.
And obviously, shout out to everybody, man, coming in here. That was different. I was the GM back then, and then Kiffin had. Hey, Kiffin, man, don't get me started on Kiffin. We are due for an excellent draft. Hey, I like what you did there. Exactly, man. He might be my favorite. Tyree Wilson had more sacks, tackles, and quarterback hits than Jared Carr for the last 10 games. I wonder who put him in that position to succeed. Hey, I wonder too who put him in the position. I said it when we drafted him. His best position is most likely in the inside and stunts. That edge rushing shit ain't for Tyree Wilson, man. He's just got what Tyree Wilson has is his physicalness. That's what he has. His wingspan, his strength, his upper body strength. He could do that. He could use his bull rush against guards. Against tackles, tackles could easily think that. Titans are gonna interview McDaniels for the head coach. Damn. Well, fuck. Well, I hope they do. Shout out to Aaron, man. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Space Beast was good. Good to see you. And obviously, speaking of what's it called? I guess other teams. I guess you could say other teams. Let me see if I could pop this. Oh my god, I don't have it. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen on this one then. Give me a second. Take it away.
You got it.
Yeah, it was just this right here.
Go ahead.
As you guys can see on your screen right here, thanks to, and I'm gonna take this banner out so you guys can see us. Obviously, because of the win, we obviously have, I would say, 2 LA games, 2 more home games next season. You have the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Browns, Steelers, Falcons, Carolina, Jacksonville, at home, by the way, at home. Then you have away the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, obviously, Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Bucks, Miami, Rams.
Good luck.
So, if you were to ask me if next season is going to be harder or easier,
good luck.
I will tell you it is harder. And now let me explain why. You may ask, SC, but Falcons and Carolina and the sorry ass Saints and Bucks are on that thing. Well, let me tell you something. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. The Steelers, they have gotten our number recently for some reason. The Falcons, they kicked the living shit out of us, and we didn't even go past half side. That could be but I'm glad it's home. I am glad that Falcons game and that Carolina game is home. I'm really glad. And then Jacksonville's on the upcoming. Ravens are the Ravens. Y'all see this season. The Saints still had a positive record. And hey, Derek Carr versus the Raiders once again. That is a storyline that is going to be an interesting storyline leading up to that game. So that's a game that I'm gonna monitor. I have circled. Ravens. If we get Jim Harbaugh, that's another storyline. His brother versus his brother in Baltimore. Hey, that's another one to look at. Then obviously the Rams, redeem ourselves from that bullshit that happened with fucking Baker Mayfield. Carolina's on the uprising. They're gonna do stuff to help Bryce Young. The Steelers payback. We gotta get payback for what they fucking did to us. Jacksonville, they gotta get their shit together. The Browns have been pretty good with Joe Flacco. So that's gonna be another one. And I think another, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Flacco was the quarterback when they played Jim Harbaugh. Am I
Yeah.
tripping? He was. So that's another one. So for me, I think it's a little bit harder schedule than last year, but I think there's more storylines in this schedule and a more exciting season. If you were to ask me, I think it's a more exciting season for the fans, for the game of football, because you have a lot of storylines, like I said, and you also have 2 home games in LA. Rams, Chargers, in SoFi. So that's 2 more home games, y'all. So hey, for everybody traveling, going to games, and then again at Miami. So now you're going at Miami and 2 LA games. I don't know if you tell me. That's a pretty good traveling right there, man. If you ask me. You feel me? It's whew. I just hope that we could be a force, man.
I'll try to be positive. I'm really trying to be positive.
Hey, look, I'm gonna break it down. I think I'm gonna break it down until we get a quarterback and until we get a head coach. Then I'm gonna talk about it. Until then, I'm gonna first let them do their thing.
Hey, I'll say this though, and this is all I'm gonna say. We only got I'm only putting money down on one away game.
Which game is that? I'm guessing you're gonna
The Broncos.
Say, yeah,
That's the only game I'm putting money on. Everything else could definitely be I don't know. we don't know what Chiefs we gonna get. We know the Chargers, they surprise us every year. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens, enough said. Tampa Bay, the way that quarterback over there that we thought was a bum is playing. We don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah.
The Rams, I don't know. We say whose house and we say Raiders, but they end up beating us every time we in that house. I can keep going down the list. Like Miami, it's Miami playoffs. There's a whole lot of playoff teams that we're playing away. So we definitely gotta we can step our game up and actually beat some of these teams, but just off the rip right now, yeah. If I have to put some money down on a win, it would definitely be just the Broncos game.
I feel it, man. Shout out to We the People, man. Good to see everybody in here, man. Big Worm, good to see you, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We just don't know what teams we're gonna get next season. Obviously, they're just like all I said, they're tough away games, but we gotta see what the Raiders do in this offseason in order to get a full evaluation, in my opinion. Exactly. Right now we could give our prediction ahead of time, but you don't even know what the Raiders are gonna do, right? True. Everybody's looking at the Raiders like, what are they gonna do? What head coach are they gonna sign? What general manager? How is their draft looking like? Who are they trading away? Because you guys got to remember, we could get extra picks if Graham is out the window, Champ Kelly's out the window. I believe they're 3rd round picks. So that is going to be a little interesting to look at that, how they're going to play that. Also, like I said, I'm not going to give my full evaluation till further down the offseason. But as of right now, those are tough schedule. But I like that schedule because, like I said, 2 LA games, 2 extra games I could go to. The Miami game could be a possibility, obviously. I'm hoping I could travel a lot this season. I hope so. I've never gone to the East Coast ever in my life, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. But obviously it's gonna be fun, man. ever since I went to that Vegas game, I ain't gonna lie. If you ever been to the Vegas stadium, man, it's more better in person, man. And I know Twan's gone. It's been something like it was unbelievable for this season, man. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. I always seen people talk about it, but once I went, it was a good one, man, and we won. It was a good one. So, one Vegas game is a must for me every season now. So I'm gonna go to a Vegas game. I don't know which one. Off of that schedule, an interesting one I would like to go to just right off rip is possibly, honestly, uh, I don't even know. I mean, obviously the Broncos again because we know we that's a for sure win. But I would say honestly a new team that I've never seen before, Carolina or the Falcons. I think those and Jacksonville. Those are teams that I wanna always go when the Raiders play a team where I've never gone to a game, right? So that's an interesting one to see there. Yep, this year and next year, same for head coach or general manager. He coached Baker Mayfield, John Manziel, Kyler Murray, and Patrick Mahomes. Who are you talking about? You talk about Cliff Kingsbury, yeah. So obviously, there's a lot to talk about revolving around us. Obviously, for me, I hope they could do it in the next week and a half. You think that's too soon, Twan, for a head coach, general manager signing?
They need to figure it out because, it's giving us a whole. I think it's giving everybody in the Raider Nation some anxiety. I'll say this too, and that causes even more to the confusion. Is a lot of these teams have to fulfill that Rooney Rule, and
Yeah,
guess what? And guess what? The guys that we want here, the AP, the Antonio Pierce, the Patrick Graham, guess what they fit? They fit the Rooney Rule.
Yeah.
So some of these, release that, so and so is talking to so and so. It definitely can be a possibility, like the one that they said AP went to go talk to the Titans. That might be a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, but by all means, it can be a live bullet. But also at the same time, they're also fulfilling the Rooney Rule. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these teams are trying to fulfill the Rooney Rule. And why wouldn't you pick AP? He's the hottest. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the hottest coaches out there. You know what I'm saying? In on the board. Of course, you got all the old proven guys, but he's one of the young
Young, yeah.
minority up and coming guys. So why not give him the interview? So it drives us crazy because we're not saying, hey, you're my guy, and let's go ahead and make it official. But I hope that's helping you guys a little bit, that maybe they're just fulfilling the Rooney Rule and he'll come back.
Facts, man. And if you guys can hit that like button, man, hit that like button. We got more than 42 people in here, man, from combined channel, man. We appreciate everybody that's in here. If you guys can't hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, obviously. And another news as well, man. We also interviewed we requested to interview Broncos executive Kelly Klein Van Callaghan for the team's general manager position. Obviously, both obviously women, obviously, that they're interviewing there, that they have a pretty good. I mean, they have some type of resume there. One has spent 3 seasons with the Broncos as the executive director of football operations, special advisor to the general manager. The other one is responsible for pro and college scouting in that aspect. Which, hey, Patrick Surtain. I mean, anybody know Patrick Surtain, Justin Simmons? They scouted pretty good people. I mean,
You're talking about the All Pro,
the All Pro Bowler.
Yeah, the Pro Bowler. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's All Pro. I forget the
I
title.
think it's All Pro too. But they're obviously requesting to interview them. Obviously, another people that could be candidates. They're probably last on the list, compared to like Champ Kelly and Ed Dobbs. But that's something just to, as far as Raider news, obviously. Obviously. So if you guys don't know who she is, well, I would say a lot of people are asking if she's hot. Well, go look it up and you'll see yourself. I'm not gonna disclose that. You feel me? But she's cool, man. She has a resume on her, so it's not like somebody that's like, oh, it's whatever. You know, at the end of the day, she knows what it is in the AFC West. Pretty good scouting department. At the end of the day, that's another notable candidate there. Just something to throw out there as far as Raider news goes. But besides that, obviously, if you guys are just joining us, Carmen Brasillo gone to the Giants so far. Antonio Pierce has been requested to be the head coach. I mean, to an interview as a head coach for, I believe, the Titans, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another notable thing as well. Patrick Graham getting requested by a lot of people, whether it's coordinator, which he got blocked, and then the head coaching job in certain places as well. A lot to think about, man. I just want it in the next week and a half, bro. So I know how to go about it in the draft. I could go about it in free agency. I could go about it and start looking at their systems, but I can't do that, bro. But obviously, in the meantime, I'm looking at college film. I have the college film in my hands finally, looking over the prospects, stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of YouTube shorts, videos revolving around prospects, profiles, coaching profiles, coordinator profiles, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that 60-second shorts, y'all, that y'all can easily watch and stuff like that. Also, you feel me? The playoffs, man. Go enjoy some football. It's the playoffs. Maybe some of these coordinators will be available next season. You don't know, right? The Lions are in the playoffs. That could be one. I'm trying to think. The Rams, some of their coordinators, staff management could be some too. But yeah, obviously.
Any surprises out of the coaches that were alleviated from their duties?
Just Pete Carroll, honestly.
Yeah,
I think just Pete Carroll is one of those guys that fits in that what you just said. As a USC fan, hey, salute to you, man. Pete Carroll, you're one of the best, man, and hey, your legacy is never gonna get shit on, bro, because you proved yourself both in the high level and in the college realm. And as a Raider fan, I don't give a shit. But as a USC fan, man, I gotta give it to him, man. Those are one of the respectable coaches that got let go, that you could respect, man. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about Pete Carroll. Like he hasn't really done anything bad in it. He's like one of those guys you can't hate.
That was one of those things that kind of stuck out to me too. Was like, as old as Pete Carroll is, like he still relates to his players, and all of his players, you know what I'm saying, have a love and respect for him. Now, of course, everybody wants to go back to the Super Bowl, right? the issue of him, going for a throw instead of, handing it off to Marshawn. Like that's probably the biggest thing that everybody has against Pete Carroll. But outside of that, like everybody likes Pete Carroll. So that one was definitely a surprise to me. They didn't make it as far as they probably would like to go, but it wasn't even like they were like super bad, so yeah, definitely a surprise for me.
He says Twuan for GM after that fantasy season he had beating these YouTube. hey, look.
Video coming soon, all eyes. You dropping a whole lot of stuff, dog. You don't know what I'm cooking back here, dog. I'm whipping it up, dog.
Hey, look. All I gotta say is I did better than last season. And I go lie, say what you say, my trades were ridiculous, but I made it happen. So call me a general manager too, because I'll be cooking up these trades like it's nothing.
Hey, all eyes. I'll just give you a little hint. It's a TV show that you and your children might like.
He said Pete Carroll's biggest mistake was sliding with Russell Wilson and allowing the Legion of Boom to disband, man. That was horrible, man. But you knew things were gonna happen after that whole, Russell Wilson audible, whatever. Could be Pete Carroll's play call or his play, Russell Wilson's. Some say it's Russell Wilson's fault, some say it's Pete Carroll's. Where they could have just gave it to Marshawn Lynch, and that was the easiest fucking touchdown of your goddamn life.
But that era was going to fizzle out anyway.
Eventually,
those players, when they came in, they were on cheap labor, but they worked themselves up to where they it's time. It was payday. You know what I'm saying? So eventually that team they weren't going to be able to keep everybody there, whether it was keeping everybody happy or financially, they weren't going to be able to keep that roster together because all those guys had to get their money. Think about all the when you think about the Legion of Boom, there's about like 7-8 guys that oh yeah, top dollar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They couldn't keep all of that on the roster. So
it's the same thing to what's happening in Kansas City. They gave Patrick Mahomes all that money. Which, hey, by the way, I'm not a person of conspiracy theories, but isn't it crazy the storylines in these playoffs? Have you guys seen the playoff schedule? Who plays who? Y'all know how ridiculous. It's like I'm not one to say it's rigged, but the storylines are actually ridiculous. I don't know if you guys seen that. I know it's a little bit off topic, but come on, y'all. Remember, even though Deshaun Watson's not playing, Deshaun Watson left the Texans to the Browns. Now they're playing each other. Now CJ Stroud is all person, right? Then you have the Dolphins versus Chiefs. Hill versus KC. Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes can't do it without Hill. Blah, 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 blah. Then you got the Rams and Lions. Matthew Stafford returns to Detroit?
Turns back to Detroit.
What the hell? Matthew Stafford returns to Detroit. McCarthy returns to Green. What the?
And who's the quarterback of the Lions?
The person they traded Matthew Stafford away for, bro. Like, what is going on? What is going on? And then you have the Hill, like I said, McCarthy, the head coach from the Cowboys, was the Packers head coach. Also, that whole was it a catch bullshit on the end. And then the Eagles played the Bucks last season, got smacked in the mouth, or 2 seasons ago, got smacked in the mouth with Tom Brady leading that team to the Super Bowl that season. Now the Bucks play the goddamn Eagles again. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit. You can't make this shit up. Which, by the way, y'all, if you would like me to do one of these games, I would gladly do a play-by-play of one of these games. Just let me know what games you guys would like to see. For me, obviously, I don't think I could do the 5 p.m. games, which sucks, which is the Rams, Lions, Eagles, Bucks. Actually, I think I could do the Eagles, Bucks. Dolphins, Chiefs, obviously. But I could do the Browns, Texans, the Steelers, Bills, the Packers, Cowboys. There's some games that could be possible. So maybe. I mean, actually, I think I could do Rams, Lions. I think I could do Rams, Lions. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But obviously, there's some interesting things to happen, man. But besides that, this is gonna be a lot of our talking points this season, y'all. So buckle up, get ready for some general manager, head coach, quarterback talk. Who gets let go? Who doesn't? Will Josh Jacobs return? Woo, we don't know. Will Renfro get traded? Woo, we don't know. We don't know anything. All we know is subscribe, so you get the latest breaking news, rumors, everything to do with the Raiders. Talking about all these things. But Twuan, any final say, man, about anything to do, man? It's the last game of the season. There's no more previews of any game, man, for 8 more months. What you feeling, man?
Man, just know that, at Raider Twuan, we're gonna keep it rolling, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna talk football, we're gonna talk rumors, football rumors, all of that good stuff. Get ready. Get ready. I'm gonna drop that thing all live. So get ready for that. Those that like the Raiders, you know what I'm saying, come on over to Raider Twuan, subscribe, join the best chat that YouTube has to offer, and everybody knows that that's the congregation. So definitely come over and show some love, support by clicking the subscribe button, liking the video, and definitely say something in the comment section. Also, I'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff, so I ain't gonna stop. So I know some people take breaks. I'm gonna keep rolling it into the next season because there's a whole lot of stuff that we can talk about, and I want to talk about the stuff you want to talk about. So definitely put your questions down, and I'll make a video on it, all that good stuff, so you guys can be informed. So yeah, Raider Twuan, those that are on the SC Raider Talk, hi, come on over and click subscribe.
And I see a lot of new people here. On behalf of me, man, if you guys can, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. If you're new here, man, subscribe. You feel me? We're close to 2,000 subscribers, like I said. On top of all of that as well, I fit in that category where I usually take breaks in these off seasons. I usually do. That's what messed me up last season, which I noticed that I was on a roll. Like sometimes you have that momentum swing where you're like averaging really good live viewers and stuff like this, and you're building up a really good community, and then you take like a month break and then everything goes to shit, and some people don't even know that you're back live. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. Hey, I'm SC. That's what happened to me. So I'm not doing that no more. So no matter what, there's always going to be content dropping on this YouTube page, whether it's YouTube shorts, videos, or even lives. There is going to be times this year where obviously there's stuff in my life that's going to happen that requires me to be out of the house, requires me to be putting my attention into other things. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to be dropping YouTube videos, shorts, all of that. So stay tuned for that, man. I think that's the easiest way for me to drop content. Also, give you guys something to watch. And on top of that, man, so please subscribe if you're new. The content is going to keep rolling through the off season. Also, I'm gonna also give you breakdowns and profiles of draftees this year, and I want to announce it now because I think it's a really cool idea, and I haven't seen anybody else do it. And if there is, then I don't know of it. It's where I make a YouTube short, 60 seconds, breaking down somebody's draft profile. Let's just say it's somebody like Michael Penix. I'll show you all 22 film in those 60 seconds, show you his pros and cons in those films. Boom, boom. So you'll have the all 22 film while me talking about his pros and cons and everything in between in just 60 seconds of the thing to give you a little bit of idea of that draft prospect. And that's going to go for every position until the draft: quarterback, wide receiver, running backs. And if you guys have any notable names, and I'm going to drop it on my Instagram, y'all see my Instagram getting dropped by Nightbot. Go onto my Instagram, hit me up, or I'm going to do a post where it's like, hey, let me know what player you want me to do a draft profile at. I'll go watch the film. I'll go break it down and then drop a YouTube short for you guys to watch it, man, and get more into Klein there. Also, with the coaching stuff as well. Once we get a coach and general manager, I'm gonna drop something like, "Hey, this general manager has scouted the likes of Bam, Bam, Bam. He has done this, and he brings this to the Raiders." And then also for the coach, this is what he's gonna do. This is what, boom, same thing. So stay tuned for all of that, man. That's a lot of content coming to this channel. Also, 2,000 subscribers are around the corner. So hopefully you guys could help me hit it, man. And besides that, I may do some playoff games this week, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Obviously, blessings to you guys and your families, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. If you guys can, hit that like button on the way out. Please hit that like button. When it helps the algorithm, it's free and it doesn't do nothing. It doesn't hurt you or anything. So I'll greatly appreciate it. Since you took the break, SE, and that's the main problem. Since I took that break, people don't get my notifications anymore, man, and it sucks. One way to do it, and all I could say is refresh it. So what you do is you unclick that bell and you click it back again. And because YouTube kind of messed it up, now you have to do it practically every week. But also, I always upload my lives a day before it happens. So on the YouTube, it has a bar where it says live. You will see that I created a live a day before, 24 hours before I actually go live. So stay. That's how you know. And also on Instagram and on my Discord as well. So just re-click the bell and you'll get the notification, man. I appreciate that, though, man.
I gotta be better at do it, put the stuff up before I'd be like, hey, I'm live. So definitely, if you're here at Raider Twuan, make sure that notification bell is on for sure. Cause yeah, I'm gonna do better. Trust me. I was a rookie. I actually got through my first season. Yay!
There you go, man. You already know that's the first season right there. The rookie season for Twuan there, man. And
yeah. So
for me, I just want to give a shout out to everybody, man. Also, you feel me? Everybody knows I got a lot of personal things in the background, so that's why it's kind of keeping me from doing a lot. But hey, this off season, we go grind, man. I promise you that. Whether it's shorts or stuff like that. I also we just want to wish you guys the very best. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. And the road to 2K still goes, man. And we'll be here next week, same time, same place, talking about hopefully we got a coach by then, a general manager, maybe some more news. So stay tuned for next Thursday, same time, same place, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Obviously 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well, man. And yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Have a good rest of your Thursday, a good rest of your weekend as well. Entering the weekend. Also, always stay safe. Remember to drive safe as well, man. Don't drink and drive, please. I beg you. And on top of that, also remember, tough time never lasts, but tell people do it. Yours are some tough people, man. And you feel me? I have a great one, y'all. Blessings, blessings, blessings. And life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And on that note, y'all, hit the like button on the way on. If you have any questions that I did not answer, because I know the chat was popping, and shout out to Capitán Rafael Thrash and everybody. Go into the comment section after the live is done and just be like, hey, SC, what you think about this? Or hey, Twua, what you think about this? We'll reply to you in an instant, man. Or as you feel me? It'll help the algorithm as well. So on that note, y'all, this was another edition of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. The end of the Raiders regular season, but the grind still continues for the both of us, man. And you already know, man. SC Raiders talking, your boy Raider Twuan, man. And we are out.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will match